Trigger warning, he sure will. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. A man that stalks you and pops up like that on you will take the next steps to pew pew you or hurt you or stab you in some way, and it is never give that man the benefit of the doubt. Never play it off or downplay. Never think that it's cute. None of those things. And a lot of times men who stalks you and will just suddenly pop up out of nowhere or pop up where you are, they often do it under the shroud of concern. Like, I was just so concerned about you, I was wondering about you, I was worried about where you were, I didn't hear from you. And they think that that justifies that impulsive behavior. They think that it justifies them sort of infringing on your privacy. And there's also a good chance, which is why I did my stalking post last week, I believe it was, a good chance that he's been doing it way before he starts popping up on you like that. This is just when you've started to notice it. And that's why I say, stalking on social media and all these other ways that people sort of subtly do it, it's usually a buildup of things, but usually when behaviors become more obvious, like he's popping up out of nowhere or random situations, or there's no way that he could have known where you were, it's usually been going on a long time, and it's a lot more sinister than you are aware of. And sinister meaning that he's probably outside of your home, has been watching your home at night to see what you're doing. He may have been tapping into your email accounts, your personal accounts, doing things to, just hack things, or, trying to get close to people that that he doesn't really know, but he's been trying to get close to your friends and your family members and find out, all the information on you so that he can have access to you in all ways. He's also most likely been starting to buy and or hoard weapons. So that could look like things like knives, it could look like things like guns. He has started to deteriorate, especially, and I'll say this all day, a man that I think one of the most dangerous men is not just the ones that, stalk you and start to pop up, but also you can tell a lot by a man by the state that he's in when he shows up. So if he's showing up, if he's popping up on you and he's in his underwear, or he's not fully dressed in his clothes, or, he's arrived and he's sort of sweating, he's on some sort of like scooter or weird way of getting there to you, I think that also shows an extreme level of psychopathy as well. He's also maybe has spent time, looking in your windows, or, mapping out your schedule, and just tracking your movements. You may have a tracker on your car, or, some sort of software in your phone, something that keeps track of, your locations and what you're doing and things like that. Things that he has no business doing, but he will gladly invade your privacy. He will also break into your home. He will pick the locks, break into your home. He will watch you and your friends, watch you and your new partner or lover, watch you go places with your mom. So, it's almost like they surrender their life over to, staying up in the know on you and having access to you. They will also hire a private investigator if they can't access you, and if they have the means, they will hire a private investigator to follow you, take pictures. There's also a lot of paranoia around what you're doing, but in spite of it being paranoia or not reality-based thinking, they will act as though their thinking is reality-based. So, for example, if he's paranoid about you cheating or being with someone else, even if there's no data or nothing to support that, he will act as though you are cheating and you are with someone else, and getting aggressive, getting loud, getting violent, all of those things, like calling you out of your name. So, always watch out for the pop ups. Immediately take it serious from Jump Street. Take out a restraining order if you need to. Do what you need to do to protect yourself, right? So you need to make sure you get protection. And any type of protection you get, you need to be prepared to use, right away. Always let people know where you're going. Try to switch up what your schedule is, and how you're moving and things like that, so that he can't keep track of you. Relocate if you need to. I hate to say that, give up your life. But also, one of the things, and I've mentioned this before, if make sure you're checking in with people that, mutual connections that the two of you have, whether it's friend, family, foe, because sometimes, even if it's your family, they will give him the information that actually gives him more access to you. People around you can also be, adding to the potential threat of danger by sort of, by giving this man, information that he has no business doing, all because they like him, or because he's paying them some attention and they like that, and blah, blah, blah. People will do that, unfortunately. And I've worked with many women who this has happened to, and it does not turn out well if you continue to tell people like that. Those people, I think, are just as guilty of getting you hurt as someone, who is not all there and who's out to get you. And the thinking, again, is not rational. The thinking is, I am entitled, I have the right to know, you are mine, you don't need to be going anywhere, you don't need to be, with anybody else. So I would say, in addition to things potentially escalating, in terms of, life-threatening, situations where someone could take your life over it, a lot of times in males, it also, will escalate to sexual battery first, before they take your life, or during the course of them even taking your life. They will, commit sexual battery and all of that, and it's because, again, they feel like you belong to them, and they want to be the last person that you were ever with, and the last person that you ever see. And so be careful of men like that. The other thing too is, if they can't get you and they really want to get you bad, that the next thing that they will do, they will get your children, or they will get your pets, and so and take their lives instead. I've even worked with men, who've done this, and so you never know who you're sitting next to, but when you but men who commit things like murder, suicide, and things of that nature, this is, again, this pathology, is very similar, if not the same. But a lot of times what will happen is couples will break up, things will escalate because somebody doesn't want to be with the other person anymore, and so they will try to get, they want to hurt you. If they can't get to you, they're going to get to anything and everything, that they can to hurt you. And so that may look like, destroying your property, but hurting your pets, hurting and or killing your children and your pets and things like that, or other family members as well. Whatever they can do, to get next to you. And again, there's always a progression, but a lot of times what happens, you don't know until it's too late. When they're popping up, it's because the stalking is obvious. But there's typically they've been doing things way before, months, days, weeks, sometimes even years before they're visualized in person.